Yeah, the accent is at times a little hard to catch, but it actually showcases what the present and past students have to say about Trinity. Ronan has already stolen the thunder from me by telling you that a tiger was shot dead. That's my last line that I normally use. That's okay. It generally wakes up the students after so much of information. Okay, so my job here today is to kind of paraphrase as to what we've heard so far. We'll first take on that in terms of why Ireland. So Ron has very articulately put across the points about Ireland being the only English-speaking country in the European Union after the UK moves out. And the reason why we say this is because traditionally, if you heard all the countries that he named, what was one thing that was common in that? And he said it. Yeah, it is an English-speaking country. And why do we choose English-speaking countries? Germany, yes, now, but when we were in college, I'm talking about 87, 88, a few friends of mine went to Russia to study, but they had to take one extra year to first learn Russian and then study MBBS or BE or whatever. Okay, so while that was an option because getting into Indian medical colleges and engineering colleges at that point of time was becoming difficult. But then that is also kind of fizzled out, and we have China, again the same problem. And looking at Germany also, Germany normally the undergraduate courses most of them are taught in German, which means you have to learn German along with your studies and a little bit before. That's why US, UK, we are talking about UK some point of time, 40,000 students are going to UK. And whoever attended the UK lecture that talk we had with James Harding, that he showcased that in 2010 there were almost 40,000 students who went from India to UK. It's come down to 16,000 last year. And the reason primarily is because of the lack of post-study options. Okay, so once you study, you have 15-20 days to just move on. You have no other option. Either you join a master's degree there, or which means that in all certainty that you cannot work in UK after you study. US we have problems, as he said, with lump or dump or whatever you want to term him as. But yes, there is a problem. There is also the problem of those fake universities that have been coming up, and we've been reading for the last 1.5 years about students from Hyderabad getting detained at San Francisco airport and being deported because they were part of fake universities. I don't know if you guys read about it. They flew Air India, and at San Francisco airport the immigration actually turned them back because those universities don't exist. Okay. So English is one aspect, safety is one aspect, and I will eventually talk about costs for you to understand, and I will seek your help in understanding what other country costs are, because you must have done a research, you must have applied already to some universities. So having said that, so yeah, Ireland is one destination that we want you to consider. We want you to consider, okay? It's an English-speaking country, you have familiar language when you move out of the campus. You meet you go to a shop to buy milk. I have problems, I tell students that I have problems when I come to Bangalore and we have some 15 schools that we work with in Bangalore, okay? Similar the way we are working with you. And when I come to Bangalore to talk to students, I can't go to the market in the evening to buy, let's say, an ice cream. Hotel is expensive, so I try and go out and eat ice cream. I can't because I don't know Kannada. So what do? I'm a Delhiite. You have talk to me in English, Hindi, Punjabi, I will do it like this, but I don't know the local language. So I feel uncomfortable moving out of the confines of my hotel, which is my secure zone, to go out in the market and try and board an auto rickshaw because the guy may not know Hindi, English. What do? Same case in Chennai. That's exactly what I'm trying to tell you when you go to a country which does not have English as their main language, and that's what Ireland provides you with. Second was the post-study work visa he spoke about. Third is impact of India, and we've got Infosys and Wipro having their European campuses in Dublin. It is, as he said, the Silicon Valley of Dublin. In fact, Trinity has a master's in computer science, and 95% of those students get jobs in the first 3 months. That is the availability of jobs in Ireland, and you get 1 year after your undergraduate studies to decide what you want to do with life. You want to work? Fine, you can apply. You don't want to work? You can study again. You can study in anywhere in the world, because if you're a Trinity graduate, anybody and everybody will accept you, including the Oxford and the Cambridge. Okay? If you go directly as an Indian student, they may not accept in Oxybridge, as they are combined called. But if you're a Trinity graduate for masters, you can be absorbed in MIT, Stanford. I don't know if you noticed, there was this old lady who was talking. She was from Stanford, yeah? Okay. Have you guys heard of Oscar Wilde? They showed this photograph in the video. Okay. Jonathan Swift, Gulliver Travels. All Trinity graduates. All Trinity graduates. University which is 425 years old has to have some category, some level, some class to sustain these many years and remain as #1 Irish university amongst the top 20 in Europe and amongst the top 100 in the world. Yeah, I mean, how do you classify as being one of the best? It's the students. Okay, it's the students, it's the alumni. Why would Jain International be ranked #1 boarding school as per the certificates that I have been seeing when I walked in today? It's because of people like you who've in the past moved out of Jain International School. It's just not about the facilities. You can build a great building with swimming pools and all the kind of jazz, and you have jacuzzis in each hostel room. That's not going to make it a #1 boarding school. It's the students and the class of the students who pass out from here which make a school a school. And that's the same thing with the university, that's the same thing with a company. A great company like Google is not just because it's Google. So what? I mean, the turnover is fine, but who gets the turnover? It's people like you and me who work there. The thinkers, Apple, all of these guys. Apple has a huge complex in Ireland. Apple has a huge complex in Ireland. So we make the companies, we make the schools, we make the universities, and our hard work and our dedication actually defines them as #1 place. Okay. So having said that, Trinity is very focused about academics. There is no entrance exam. There's no entrance exam, and they look at your 12th scores, okay, and your predictive scores. So when you're in the 12th, in sometime this time is when you need to apply to Trinity for your bachelor's degree. Trinity offers MBBS and dentistry to IB board school, so only in India. So that's an option for you guys. Yeah, the scores will be high, and Ron can talk about it. I generally don't talk about such dirty things. I leave these things to him. Costs. I'll come to costs. How much does the 1 year tuition fees in US cost? Somebody who's applied to US.
50 lakhs.
50 lakhs.
Yeah.
Which is like okay, that's 50 lakhs for the tuition fees, is it?
The entire.
Living cost included?
$60,000.
Yeah, 60,000 approximately. Who's applied to UK? What is the cost?
Around 20 lakhs for tuition.
20 lakhs for tuition is what? 15,000 pounds?
Yeah, around 60.
And what about living cost? Any idea? If you remember our presentation last night. No.
I was there.
You were there. I remember your face. I generally don't forget faces. Generally don't forget faces. The approximate cost of living is approximately the same as your tuition fees, which is around around 15,000 pounds. And that makes it around 33,000 pounds. You convert it to US dollars just for comparison, it becomes 45,000 USD. So you've got 60,000 USD for US, 55,000 USD for UK. Australia is kind of similar, if you agree with me. Whoever is applied to Australia, I don't know.
Around 16 lakh.
Slightly less. 40,000 US. Okay. Okay. So all of you, since you've not applied to these countries, but you understand that that's the range of cost from 40,000 US to 60,000 US. Irish universities and Trinity College, because of their standing and because of the kind of scholars that they generate, have certain grants that they receive from the government, and their total living expenses, including cost, is around 28 to 32,000 US, which is 21 lakh rupees, including hostel, food, stay. Approximately 21 to 23. That's it. That's it. 1 year. This does not include MBBS and dentistry. So people who are looking to go for MBBS, I'm sorry. It's MBBS. Their School of Medicine is 305-year-old school. So that is a costly school, but still cheaper than what you have to spend in India and anywhere else. So that's the cost comparison that I wanted to put across to you, that we are talking about 21 lakhs approximately, give or take 1 or 2 here and there, for you to go to Ireland for 1 year, including food, including hostel. I will ask Ronan to talk about accommodation and scholarships. Just one part more is about visas. Irish government is actively promoting education in Ireland and India. Okay, what that means is genuine students who have an IELTS score, or you have to give an IELTS PTE or TOEFL. Even for the university, you have an IELTS score of 6.5 with 6 in each band, which I kind of expect from you guys, and statement of funds, should get visas, education visa to Ireland. Next time around, when there is a fair of education in Ireland in Bangalore, I would suggest, sir, that if it's normally on a Sunday, I will give you advance information about it, and if you can kind of generate, if not the 12Ds this time, the next 12Ds,